Welcome back to AFL from LA. Tips, who loses and why, round 15. I'm your host, Cindye, and I'm here with your favorite, Andrew from Ankle Sore. How are you?
Whose favourite?
You're everybody's favorite.
I'm good. I don't know about that.
Oh, God. Well, all right. So just to catch you up right away on our tally, Andrew had a terrible weekend. I think you got 3 out of the 7 right, and I got 5 out of the 7 right. So
I'd like to bring forward an opinion.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
if a severe underdog loses by a goal or less, that should be a win for me. North Melbourne against Freo. Come on. Jeez, I was stiff on that one.
You took a risk, and it didn't pay off. I mean, it should have. It should have.
Yeah, it should have. I legit thought they would beat Fremantle, coming off a bye. So
I did not
that
tip
one hurt.
them, but I thought they were going to win it. So
did I.
All right, so the official tally, my friends, Cindye 78 to Andrew 72. The gap is widening. You and your Toby t-shirt are,
I've got an idea for that, by the way.
Yeah. What's that?
Because you said, I can wear hat, t-shirt. No. I'm going to wear, I don't know if it's a hat or a t-shirt, right?
Uh-huh.
But here's the kicker.
What's
Let
that?
me know, or let us know in the comments if you like this idea, right? So I'll wear the GWS t-shirt and go down to Icon Park and walk in the shop and just walk around and just ask some questions. Do you have this? Do you have a Toby t-shirt? Do you have Jesse Hogan t-shirt?
I love it.
You love it. I thought I've been thinking about it all week.
I like it.
Yeah,
All
so
right, we'll
let us know in the
see.
comments if you think that's a good idea for the challenge or for the punishment, if you like, not
I
challenge.
still have no punishment. I get off scot-free.
Well, it looks like you're going to win, so who gives a shit?
Oh, that's true. All right. Well, let's get into this round. It's Thursday night, first game, Fremantle versus Essendon at Optus. Thursday night game at Optus. Am I reading this correctly? Is that right?
Yeah, 8:10. It's bizarre. I don't know what's going on in Perth these
8:10.
days.
I have
but
6:10. Is that
6:10
that's
Perth
right.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Which is even more bizarre, isn't it, really?
On a Thursday night. Yeah, well, they'll take off work. They'll get there. So Dockers 10-13 defeated Kangaroos 10-7. It was a sad, sad day for the Roos. Sarong had 36 disposals. Brayshaw had 31. They were plus 18 contested ball in the last term and sealed it. The Bombers, on the other hand, 8-8 lost to the Cats. This is painful just reading this. 23-13. So it was 56 to 151.
Yep.
I mean, 32 contested possessions and conceded 11 turnover goals. All right. So Freo, let's talk injuries. It seems like Alex Pearce has hot spots on his shin. Now, this is going to sound stupid, possibly, but
It's not.
Sam Walsh has hot spots on his feet. He has it on his shin. What are hot spots? I don't really understand what a hot spot is.
It's when you sit in front of the heater for too long. I don't know. Like, seriously, what's a hot spot? It's an injury. Like, why do they need to make up buzzwords in the AFL?
Is it jargon, really? Like,
Yeah, I only heard it, I reckon, the first time last year or the year before. Hot spots. Okay.
somebody please tell us what it is. If there's like a more, like if there's actually a medical term associated with it, because I only noticed this week, like hot spot is what they're saying all the time. So
like my thing is, if it's a hot spot, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming, and this is my medical knowledge or lack of, right? But
yeah,
I would assume a hot spot is like, hey, they're about to get injured, so rest them, right?
okay.
But to be out for 6 weeks, that's not a hot spot. That's an injury. Like,
So, you know what it makes me think of? Like, you have a dog. Dogs get hot spots, right? Like,
do they?
yeah, I think they get like allergies and like with the heat.
Oh, yeah,
and they're always
yes,
like, I think
you are
that's
correct,
a like hot spot, right? I don't know. Okay.
So they might have allergies.
Allergies, allergic
Makes
to...
sense with Sam Walsh, like allergic to football, like Carlton players, like Harry Mackay, they're always allergic, yeah.
All right, so Walsh is out, but I have I'm not Walsh. We're wrong game. Alex Pearce
Alex
is out.
Pearce.
I don't know if Walters and O'Mara are back, and I don't even know if it matters, to be honest with you.
I don't think it does, to be honest.
And Essendon, same old story. Nightmare outs. So is it fair to say, I think we might have answered this, but is it fair to say that Freo got lucky against North?
Oh, so lucky. And they're lucky they're playing Essendon. Geez, they've got a dream run. They play home game in Perth against North Melbourne.
I think they have 11 home games this year, which is unheard of for a
interstate
side.
So it looks like I'm eating 100 nuggets then.
You might be eating
Thanks,
a lot
AFL.
of nuggets. We'll have to send him some extra types of sauces to keep it fun, a little honey mustard, a little barbecue. So with Pierce missing, if he is actually missing, it's so hard to get good information. But can Freo's smaller back six cope with Peter Wright and Jones?
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. Even Peter Wright, he might kick 4 or 5, but Caddy, might kick you a couple, but that's about it. They don't bat very deep in the forward line, so they're not kicking you 15 goals. So I don't think it's an issue as such.
Okay, I said Jones, didn't I? I meant Caddy.
Yeah, Caddy,
right?
Caddy.
Okay, Wright and Caddy. Okay, so North didn't seem to tag Sarong and Brayshaw. Do the Bombers tag them? And if so, who would be tagging who?
Okay, this is the thing. So North, their midfield's pretty good. So I think they want to go head to head with them, and it kind of worked out okay because LGU in the first quarter was sensational. They just couldn't capitalise, right?
Yeah.
Essendon's the same way. They're very good on clearance, midfield clearance. So I think if they tag, it might detract from their game.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So
yeah.
And I don't think they have a bona fide tagger, Essendon. I don't think that's the way that they play.
Okay.
So Sarong and Brayshaw, they're stars of the competition. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, I suppose.
Right. Now, do the Bombers have an answer for Tracy?
Not at the moment. Their whole backline's out. Jaden Laverde is the only sort of big, strong defender that can play on him. And, he's probably 7th in the rotation down at Essendon, So having said that, they're going to struggle.
So the dreaded question, who loses and why?
Essendon, just because they're riddled with injuries. That's it. They get lucky again, Fremantle.
Yep, I'm with you. Essendon lose Docker's midfield shape plus Optus familiarity. It's going to be, I think, a decisive win. What do you think the margin will be?
I think 6 goals.
6?
4-6, yeah. Comfortable, but not a smashing. So.
All right. Well, do you think Essendon will be competitive for at least a quarter or two?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They've been competitive in every game. Even the Geelong game, they were competitive up until probably half time.
Right.
And then they're kids, right? So they can't sustain it. So they give a bit, Essendon. And look, Nate Caddy, please stand up this week. If you stand up, you're a slight chance, albeit. But stand up, Nate Caddy, please.
So let me ask you this question. So clearly this, I don't know if this had anything to do with what happened with the Freo North game, but is there any chance that that Freo will underestimate Essendon and they'll, come out swinging and take them on, surprise them?
Look, Justin Longmuir is a pretty dour coach, right?
Yeah.
You would think he'd tell them to, watch out, we had a game at home and look, they'll be ready for anything. They have to be. They have to be.
All right, one day closer to your Nugget Fest. All right, next game.
Don't remind me, please.
Friday night. Oh, it's going to be a good one. I'm not going to be able to see this until the next day. It's Geelong versus Brisbane at Alphabet Stadium, 7:40 p.m. So the Cats, as we mentioned, dismantled Essendon by 95 points. The Lions... The Lions were 13-18. They lost to... Oh, who did they lose to? I forget.
Jesse Hogan.
Oh, that's right. Aaron Cadman. They lost to Aaron Cadman.
Oh,
okay.
right. Okay.
So, all right. So they had a scoreless run of 1-4 from 17 inside 50s.
Incredible.
After halftime, right?
Incredible.
In fact, I'm wearing this lovely T-shirt today. I don't know if you noticed my colors today. That
the Brisbane Lions.
in honor of the Lions. And funnily enough, the shirt's called Roosters. So they play more like a bunch of roosters than they did.
You're right. You're right.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Lions. I was just very happy.
You're just being honest.
Lost the tip, won the game. Love it. Okay, so Brisbane, though, suffered a tremendous loss. Payne is out for the rest of the season. And hard to watch that. Nobody likes it, but that's just the reality. So check some of these facts out, right? Brisbane hasn't played in Geelong since 2021. Okay? It's a long time. Brisbane hasn't won a game in over 2 decades in Geelong. Can you believe that? 2 decades. Since 2003. They have not won a game in Geelong.
So they weren't good for a long time after 2005-ish.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense because they don't play down there a lot. So a lot of teams probably play, in 20 years, they've probably played a handful of times down there. So,
okay. It still seems kind of outrageous.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. How many times have Collingwood played at Cardinia Park?
What, this century?
Well, clearly, since in your world the AFL goes way back into 1990. Territory, you know?
No. I'll tell you, I reckon once or twice.
Does anyone know?
And that's scraping the battle. Yeah, let us know
in the comments. Let us know what team has played the most games in Geelong, other than Geelong, and the least games in Geelong.
I'll take a guess. I'll say it'll be an interstate side that's played the most, just because Freo or probably Freo.
Yeah.
Even West Coast don't play there often. Yeah.
I mean, the Giants clearly play there enough, but anyway.
Yeah, but they're only youngsters in the competition.
Yeah, but. Yeah, to your point. Okay, so if the grand final was today, who's winning? Collingwood or Geelong?
Collingwood.
You still think Collingwood is winning? I read something the other day, like statistically, I think like Geelong would probably be the winner. I can't remember now where I saw it. I was going to save it for you. Brisbane, as we mentioned, went 13-18 in front of goal. It conceded 11 coast-to-coast majors and laid only 28 tackles, which I've come to understand is silly. Like that's way off. I wanted to know how bad that was, and I found out. Their conversions, their containment, and their pressure was all terrible. So what's the single biggest lever they must pull to avoid another GMHBA nightmare against Geelong?
The tackling. You just mentioned it. You can't let Bailey Smith and Max Holmes get off the chain. You just need to grab them at every possible turn and not allow them to run. So the tackling is going to be huge. And this is coming from me, who's an offensive person, not a defensive person. But in this instance, they need to be hard at the ball. And if they're not getting it, you better make sure you tackle. So
I think last week you were a little meh about Max Holmes. Is his
No, it's got nothing to do with Max Holmes. He's a star. But Bailey Smith's clearly the big banana. He'll be getting 3, Max Holmes will be getting 2. You can't win the Brownlow getting 2 votes every week if the other guy's getting 3. So
fair enough.
Anyway.
All right. So who loses and why?
Brisbane. No, Geelong lose.
Geelong lose?
Geelong lose, yeah.
Is this a strategic pick?
No,
here?
not at all. No. It's just.
So
it's
you
just
think the hoodoo is coming to an end? The hoodoo is
no hoodoo. End. No, it's just stupid AFL football. That's how it works. So season on the line for Brisbane. Geelong had a really easy win against Essendon.
Okay.
I'm going the Lions. They cannot afford to drop this one.
I love it. All right. Well, Brisbane Lions lose again. They've got no Payne, and they might not even have Oscar McInerney in the ruck. McInerney in the ruck. I can't ever get his name right. I'm going to stick with first names for now on. The Cats should dominate aerially and convert intercepts. So, and Brisbane has been terrible in front of goal. Their accuracy has been terrible. So
I was just about to say that they're getting a lot of shots at goal. So if they can convert against Geelong, look out.
So what do you think the margin's going to be on this game?
Oh, I think under 10 points, Brisbane.
Moving right along, it's already Saturday. Carlton versus North Melbourne. How exciting. MCG at 1:20. This is going to be a big
Great
day
game.
for you boys at Ankle Sore. Are we doing anything? Are you doing a live?
Well, one's coaching, I'm watching, and the other one's unsure. So we don't know.
Really?
Well, yeah. Saturday 1:20 is a terrible time for us three, you know.
So the Blues were 13-8, and they beat the Eagles
Giants.
6-16. It looked like it on this piece of paper. Okay, 6-16. Hewitt, you guys get to guess which one, had 35 disposals. It was not Elijah Hewitt.
Oh, George Hewitt. Yeah, I'm getting my Hewitts and Hollands mixed up.
Defense logged 22 intercepts. The Roos, as we discussed, lost by what? 8 points, 6 points.
6
to
points,
Freo. Yeah, after coughing up that 5-goal run. But Sheasel had a good game, 29 disposals. Suvlaki is not doing well. He was 1-3. What's going on with him?
He needs support. He needs support. Like, early Jack Darling was good, but he's tapered off a lot.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they just swarm Nick Larkey, and it's kind of like, you know, one-on-one he's good, and you know when he's got some space, but they close his space and he struggles to.
But his accuracy is terrible too, even shots on goal, right? So is it
that's a confidence thing, I think, because he's not getting a lot of shots on goal because he's struggling or he's working that hard to get those shots, and then he's buggered by the times he tries to kick it, you know.
Help me out here because I couldn't get. We already said Sam Walsh is out. Harry Mackay still out?
Potentially, yes.
Potentially. Is Silvani out?
Potentially.
And Charlie?
Potentially.
So when will we know? Because I feel like it's hard to tip this game with those without knowing.
I feel like it's easy, but anyway. But like, where's Carlton at? Seriously, like having all these potential. So, as an example, Geelong.
Yeah.
They rested Bailey Smith 2 weeks ago, right?
Okay.
Just because he was a little bit sore. They can afford to rest players, right? And they'll even rest Dangerfield when he's not injured, just because, right?
Okay.
Carlton run their players into the ground because they've got nothing, you know?
Yeah.
So these guys, I would say, if they're at 80%, they'll be playing, you know, but...
So are you suggesting they should have rested somebody during the Eagles game?
I guess that's man management, right? And you've got to look a bit deeper. You've got to look forward to next week. And this is where I think AFL's a bit still in its infancy, right? As compared to world sport.
Okay.
That we just don't... We run players into the ground like the Bulldogs. You know, Sam Darcy came back from a 8-week layoff and played the last quarter when I was 70 points up. Why? You know, Bontempelli, do you really want him to get injured when you're 70 points up? Like, it's just silly, you know? So I really think we should be resting the players, the key players, and, you know, looking forward to next week. The game's in the bag. And even if it's not, like, if you're not confident in your 22 or 18 players on the ground, why are they playing, you know? So, geez, Carlton, it's going to be a tough one if they don't all play.
So... we all know Charlie's out. That's the biggest out for Combin for North. Is anyone else? Did they lose anybody else this week? I don't think so.
I don't think so, no.
So let's talk about Zurhar for a minute. Jeez, he took a walloping, right?
Oh, you should have been wearing...
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Like,
I know. Every time we went for the ball, he got hit and the wrong place and everything, yeah.
I mean, what a warrior, seriously. Mad respect for him.
Yeah, I know. Could you imagine the flight home? That would have hurt.
No, I mean, I can imagine the Vicodin or the...
Vicodin? We take Panadol here.
So the Blues were minus 10 clearances after halftime in Perth. Do LDU and Wardlaw have an opening?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Should Clarkson push Sheasel forward to stretch Carlton's tall defence?
Yeah, forward mid, I think. I think they can. Yeah, I think that'd be a good move.
So, who loses and why, Andrew?
Carlton lose because they're not playing well. And with all those outs, North Melbourne, they've been good the last 5 weeks,
Yeah.
North. So they need to win one, and this is the one. This is big for them.
So you didn't think Carlton played well against the Eagles then?
Oh, 1 quarter they did.
1 quarter, yeah, because they dropped away. What was it, 1-4 and 1-4 in the third and fourth quarters, right?
Yeah, they kicked 2 goals in the second half. That's disgusting.
So if the Eagles could have managed them a bit better in the first quarter, they would have stood a chance?
100%, of course.
Yeah.
Carlton
It
are
was a shame.
notorious for their second half
They really
half
are.
fade out. So,
It's a real thing with them. I mean,
it is. It's a pattern. Like Adam Simpson likes to say, there's patterns and there's patterns. And this is a patterns. This is a pattern. This is happening every week. So
right. Well, so I was thinking that I was going to say North is going to lose. But I wasn't sure because of all these outs. And now I'm kind of like, I think you're right. I think that North are going to win and Carlton are going to lose. I mean, they've got to win. So I'm with you. I'm saying Carlton lose. Can't believe it, but I think that's what's happening. So
it's bad,
there you
isn't
have
it? Jeez, where's Carlton at? Bloody hell.
Our next item up for bid? No, our next game on Saturday is Port versus Sydney at Adelaide Oval. 3:45 in the afternoon. So we both got this super wrong. We both tipped Port to lose and Demons to run away with it. Power, 14-9, defeated Demons 10-8. 24 tackles. Butters, 34 disposals. Rosie, 3 goals. I hope I had that right because I got the Kerno one wrong.
I don't know if he kicked. I know someone kicked the bag, but yeah.
Well, Georgiades 7 goals,
7.
career
Half
high
their
for
score.
him. Yeah,
Yep.
he was great actually, and actually Radaglia had a career high of 13 intercept marks.
That was incredible
as a power, and Sydney had a bye. So
Thank
man,
God.
Ricky has some things to say to you, and I didn't write them all down, but I'm sure.
Oh, you've got something for me, okay?
No, I didn't write them down. I should have written them down, but
You said you didn't write them all down. How many were there, Ricky?
Oh my God, he's got a bone to pick with you. Like, you know how you get your vendettas. He's got a vendetta.
Yeah, I know. Ricky, I got to apologise, mate. Sydney are on top of the ladder. I got it all wrong.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what you say about this week. So, Port, I don't know if Jason Horne-Francis is injured or not. I think he went off early with a shoulder, I think, this time.
Yeah, he went off injured. Again, could be precaution, could be who knows.
Okay, and Alir also, I don't know what the hell's going on with him.
Oh my God,
he was not right. It was a knee.
He was playing with one leg.
Yeah,
one leg the second half.
Yeah, he's also a warrior. But so I don't know if those two are playing, and I think that does make a big difference. Now
that makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Now here's the big news break. Sydney, I believe, are getting back Papley and Goulden this week, and Amadi's back from suspension. So we may be looking at a completely different Sydney Swans team, one that we've yet to see pretty much this year, right? Like,
Here comes their premiership tilt.
maybe not premiership tilt, but firing.
What? You mean they're not? Yeah,
Firing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I said in our show yesterday that where's Goulden? It's round 15 and he's still not back. Like they said, it was like a 4 to 8 week injury, and it's like he's missed more than half the season. That's crazy.
He must have had a few hot spots.
That's it.
So Swans are pretty good at scores from turnovers. Can they bypass Port's forward pressure?
Yes.
Yes.
They should be able to.
Now with Goulden back, who, if anyone, does Hinkley focus on?
It's in this order, exactly.
Okay, tell me.
Heaney, Warner, Goulden.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need to worry about.
All right.
That's it. No one else. That's it.
Well,
and
Papley's
conversely,
back and, yeah,
it's okay. He can kick his 4. That's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Conversely, Sydney have to worry about Horne-Francis if he plays, Rosie and Butters, and that's it.
True. So it could be a pretty good matchup, you're saying?
3 on 3, yeah. So it should be like like half-court basketball, 3-on-3. That's it.
Yeah.
They should
So
just
is this the game of the
get rid
round?
of everyone. No. No, we're getting there, but this isn't it.
All right. So who loses and why?
Port Adelaide.
Ah! I totally agree with you. And it's so funny.
There you go, Ricky. Right?
Yeah, Ricky, we're on your side. We love you.
For this week only, so make the most of it. Be nice to me.
Look, I think it's going to be tight. I don't know, but I think I think the band's getting back together. Like they're going to be all like psyched and happy and like, you know, feeling confident. And I think they can get it done. You know?
Yeah, I agree with you. I just can't trust a team that one player kicks half their score.
Yeah.
Like as an anomaly, that's his career high, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, he's good for 3 or 4, but he's not kicking 7 every week. So I have a problem, and I've been saying this all year with Port Adelaide. Where do the goals come from?
Yeah.
I've been saying the same with Sydney, but more so Port Adelaide because they're so one-dimensional, you know.
And Cindye does get Amadi back, and he's not always consistent,
help,
but
he's
you know,
not.
he's probably good for two to four
2 goals,
right?
Yeah, see, isn't it funny that he kicked 9 against Port Adelaide last year when they beat them by 20 goals? Remember that?
That's right. That
just
was
before
like
the finals, it was like 10 goals to 0 or something. That was bizarre.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it looks like we're both on Team Swan this week. All right. Saturday night, Collingwood versus St. Kilda. This has got to be the game of the round. 7:30 at Marvel. It's at Marvel. So Saints got smashed by the Doggies. It was 132 to 60. Whoa. And the Magpies are fresh off a bye. Looks like they had a lovely time. I saw their Instagram post. They look like they're nice, relaxed, and ready to take on the world. So Maynard may be back, and the Saints don't have any new outs to report, I don't think. So the Pies are plus 104 time in forward half. Is this a coaching or personnel gap for St. Kilda?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, I want honesty here.
It's a coaching gap.
Okay.
You know the Grand Canyon? That's pretty big, isn't it?
Yes.
That's about the size of the gap between Ross Lyon and Craig McRae.
Wow. Fighting words.
Truth.
Hope you don't run into Ross Lyon I
hope I do.
at a coffee
I
shop.
I like Ross. Just not as a coach. I like him as a media personality. He was fantastic. He was hilarious.
Andrew, what bizarre tactic would the Saints have to unleash to stop Collingwood from having another black and white party at Marvel?
They actually need to unleash the magic of playing football. Not defend.
Yeah.
Play football and start attacking and trying to put a score on the board that gives you an opportunity to win.
All right, Andrew. So who loses and why?
Really? Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, just get it over. We're like ripping off a Band-Aid. Just say it.
Yeah, I don't like ripping off Band-Aids. I'm going to say Collingwood win. I'm not going to say the other team's name.
Oh, God.
I'm angry. I don't like them, the way they play.
God, did we disagree on a game yet? Because I think St. Kilda lose. Collingwood is they're just too good. I mean,
too good.
Nobody needs to hear all the whys from me today. Like,
exactly.
Geez.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I have a feeling this next game might be the game of the round.
Could be.
Because I really don't think it's the Bulldogs versus Richmond.
What? Well, you never know.
All right. Sunday, June 22nd. My GWS Giants versus the Gold Coast Suns at NG Stadium, 1:20 in the afternoon.
And we have the match of the round.
All right. It is the Expansion Cup. It is the first of 2 meetups for 2025. I'm assuming the next one's probably going to be in Gold Coast. So my Giants stun the Lions 17-5 to 13-18. 58% inside 50 conversion. Whitfield had almost 700 meters gain. That's pretty impressive. The Suns were on a bye, but they last lost to the Fremantle Dockers, your Nugget mob. So the Giants managed to win that game without, my favorite, Toby Green. He was out. He is expected back. Briggs and I believe Stringer are still going to be out. And I saw something that Brown may be out, which I don't like, but we'll have to live with that if that's true. For the Suns, Yummy Lucky Weller, I prefer to call him Lucky Yummy Weller. He's a test. He might be back. Big rumor going around the AFL world that Ben King is potentially going to the Magpies. And not only that, but that Matty Rao might follow him there. Have you heard this? You haven't?
I haven't. No.
Tom Morris broke the news that...
Tom Morris is pretty on the ball.
Is he? I mean, you're being sarcastic, right?
No. I'm telling you. Yeah. Tom Morris is on the ball.
I mean, that's kind of shocking. And to come out like right now in the middle of their season where everybody's expecting big things from them, and then to find out like two of your main players might be like bailing is... It's different.
That's
like
massive.
You're talking about the Eagles and you're talking about Oscar Allen. Like they're, up Schitt's Creek at the moment. But like, you're making a run for finals and this comes out. That's not good if it's true.
Not.
So the Suns, they rank very high at stoppage scores. Can they expose GWS's clearance problem?
I think so. I think so. They've had a problem all year, GWS, and it helped Finn
Callahan.
Finn Callahan. Jeez, these names, there's too many players.
Well, there's
playing.
O'Halloran and there's Callahan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So put them together, they're the best player in the AFL. Anyway, Finn Callahan helped that a lot because he's a star.
Yeah.
He's an absolute star. But apart from him, I mean, Tom Green is Tom Green and he gives you what Tom Green does every week, right?
Yeah.
It's no issue with that. But apart from those two, they really struggle in the midfield these days.
So I don't know how closely you've watched the last couple games, but
close enough.
The rookie Madden has been in there in the ruck.
Yeah, the ruckman.
Big boy. He's really solid. He has a lot of composure. Like not normally something I'm picking out, but like he's so calm under pressure. I was actually quite impressed with him. So and he might be playing again this week. So but he's playing against Witts.
Jared Witts. Yeah. Who's an absolute, you want to talk about Bulls, he's an absolute brute of a man.
Yeah, so I think...
good luck to the rookie.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting nonetheless to see what happens with the midfield battle. Now, did Aaron Cadman do enough for you this week to say that he rates?
What do you mean?
You're like, oh, Cadman, he's not great. When is he going to fire? When is he...
Was I right? Had he done anything up until last week?
Yeah, he's been
He's shown glimpses.
Yeah.
He's shown glimpses, right?
Okay.
He jumps for marks and never takes them. And last week he just went bananas, right?
So, I mean, he had 5 goals, 13 marks, and 19 disposals. So, and he might have had mark of the year. Like, is he on your list now?
Horsey, relax with mark of the year. It was a good mark, wasn't it?
It was really great. So, I mean...
Geez. Take those orange glasses off, all right?
I'm asking a legitimate question because you've been very... Like, you're back on Caddy's side, so I want to know, like, how you feel about Cadman.
No. So,
you're off
here's
Caddy
the thing,
now?
right? Well, he had that great game against Brisbane.
I can't keep up.
Okay, well, I'm about to tell you.
All right.
So he had that fantastic breakout game against Brisbane, Caddy, right?
Yeah.
And he hasn't had a touch for the last 2 weeks. So this is the thing with these kids. So same with Cadman, right? He hasn't done much all season.
Yeah.
Last week he was sensational, right?
Okay.
That hopefully is his breakout game, right?
Okay. So,
now I want to see how he follows up and plays this week and next week, right? That's going to be the key.
So who loses and why?
GWS.
Okay, why?
I can't trust them.
Okay.
Mind you, I can't really trust Gold Coast either, but like they kicked, what did they kick last week? 17-5 GWS.
Yeah.
That's incredible kicking, right?
Very accurate kicking.
Yeah,
Take
that doesn't
AFL.
happen. And they probably won't do it again. And to have 22 shots, I mean, it could be 11-11, 77. That's not going to win you many games. I think Gold Coast with the week off.
Yeah.
So I think the week off helps teams. I think it's an advantage, personally.
Okay. I looked it up, by the way, after we talked about it last.
Go on.
It's like nearly 50-50. It's like...
Yeah, so it
might be like 45-55. Like, it's we could go either way.
But it's negligible. But I just think it's an advantage because you can sit back and watch the team you're playing the week after without having to play and being immersed in the game that you're playing that week. So, not physically, but just mentally, it's an advantage.
Yeah.
I'll also say this game, you can get 4 free tickets for anyone.
Okay.
Game of the
Sign me
round.
up.
How bizarre is that?
Sign me up.
Hey, I told you. What is it today? Tuesday.
Yeah.
By all means, jump on the flight and we'll go to the game. I'll meet you in the
Can
west
we
of
get
Sydney.
an
Is it
interview?
NG Stadium?
Can I get an interview with the boys, Giants people?
I reckon if you make the trek
Oh my
to
God.
Giant Stadium, or what's it called, NG Stadium.
NG Stadium.
I reckon you'll be right to get Toby Green. Toby,
Would Toby pick me up at the
Cindy's
airport?
going to interview. No, he won't pick you up, but
All right.
you'll interview. You'll get to interview him if you go.
All right. Well,
so I can organise those free tickets for you if you like.
Okay. Well, so I was going to say that Giants lose because they're still kind of in tipping jail. Like I'm upset with them, and I seem to do better when I say Giants lose. But for the sake of entertainment, I'm going to say Suns lose, Giants win. I'm going to keep it interesting for us, and I'm going to pray.
That you're wrong.
Pray that
Or
my feelings aren't affecting the game somehow. My thoughts about the game. All right. So just to follow up, I mean, the Suns have a 1-7 record at NG or in Sydney. Well, at NG at Sydney playing the GWS.
Can I change my tip? Bloody hell.
But sometimes these things mean nothing. Sometimes they mean something,
exactly.
right? It's definitely going to be a clash of style between the Suns with their stoppage first, contest heavy method versus the Giants intercept and sling style. So it could be a really fun matchup. But I'm going to say that
Game of the week.
that Suns come out on the bottom. Western Bulldogs versus Richmond at Marvel Stadium, 3:20. Bulldogs, as we mentioned, crushed the Saints, 132-60. Bontempelli had a great game that made some great content for us over here.
Yes,
So a little
I did see
incident
that.
with him and the ball, poor guy.
Yeah, I did see that. Well picked out. Well picked out.
I hope you're all right. I hope you're walking well.
I'm sure he's fine.
The Tigers had a bye, but they previously lost to the Swans. So there's no injuries I know of that are any different than before. I think Lawler's still out. I believe Balta plays. It's a 3:20 game.
He plays. He's able to play. Yes.
Does he have to be home at a certain time?
I think it's 8 or 10
if
p.m.
the
or
game
something.
runs long. 10 p.m. Okay, so
I think it's 10. Yeah, there you go. 10 p.m.
So the Tigers conceded 51% of defensive 50 scoring. Can the Dogs feast on that on Marvel's fast deck?
They can.
They
can. This is right up their alley, the Dogs. And they've been beating up these lowly sides all year.
Tim English dominates the rep taps the way the numbers suggest. What realistic counter can Richmond use at ground level to stop Bontempelli from turning those clearances into scoreboard pressure?
They can't. They
can't?
They just don't have...
No hope.
They just don't... No, they just don't have the cattle, honestly.
So Taranto and Prestia and Hopper,
yeah, they can try
done
and
for?
tries. Well, yeah. They're scrappers and, probably a bit better than scrappers, but geez, I mean, you've got Ed Richards is actually the number one highest rated player in the AFL.
Okay.
So I know you're speaking about Bontempelli, he's a superstar.
Yeah.
But you've got Ed Richards, you've got, Bailey Dale, Libba, Adam Treloar's back. It's it's non-stop. They just keep punching you from everywhere. These new kids like Joel Frazier, and it's just like they're running machines, the Bulldogs,
All right. So if they have such a great midfield, why can't they beat any top 8 teams?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think their letdown is their forward line.
Okay.
And I don't mean Sam Darcy. I mean Aaron Norton. He's just been terrible this year.
And Darcy's been out for the last.
He's been out for 7 weeks. Yeah. So that hasn't helped.
Yeah.
That doesn't help. I mean, he's one of the premier
Cody
forwards in the
Waitman's
AFL.
out, so that's
out for the
them,
year.
right? Yeah.
Yep. So their forward line is, I won't say the problem, but against good sides, it's a problem.
Okay.
They're okay against the lower sides. They smack them. They'll occasionally kick 20 goals against the lower sides, but against the good ones, they just. Everyone attacks from the back line. So if you're not kicking goals and you're, allowing goals, especially against Collingwood, as we know, you're in a bit of trouble.
So Uze says he wants a slow kick mark game to starve the Dogs' turnover attack. What single stat should we be watching out for in the first quarter to see if it's working?
how many marks they have. Like, if that's the case, they'll have 200 marks.
Okay.
They'll try anyway. But look, I think Luke Beveridge and the Dogs are smart enough to realise that that's the case, and they'll shut it down in the first 5 minutes.
Okay. So who loses and why?
Oh, Richmond. They're just, I love what they're doing, but they've got no hope against the Dogs. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, let's all hope they have a good game at least, and give them a little competition,
A little bit, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we did it. We did it. 7 games.
What about your tip?
Oh, who loses and why? Richmond loses.
Make it interesting.
I'm not an idiot. I'll make it interesting.
You said it's entertainment, right? Come on.
Yeah, I'm not making it.
Play along.
Not on that game. Give me a break. No, maybe next week I'll mix it up.
I'm disappointed, Cindye.
All right, so the teams that have the byes this week are two of Andy's teams, his Hawks, his Crows, my Eagles, and no one's Demons. Although, ironically, I did tell you they were originally my Demons. They were my first.
Were they?
Yeah,
really?
like my
Yes,
I told you the story, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
So anyway, but they're no longer my Demons. So those teams are not playing this week. So if those are your teams, have a nice relaxing weekend. Make yourself a margarita. Put your feet up, just relax and enjoy the rest of the round.
Margarita.
Well, the rest
easy
of
for you to say. You're in LA at 30 degrees. We're in 10 degree. What's 10 degree in Fahrenheit?
A hot toddy.
Hot toddy,
Would you prefer hot toddy? What?
Yeah, hot toddy, yeah. So if you're in LA, have margaritas. If you're in Melbourne, have hot toddies.
Or something. I don't know. But at any rate,
hot chocolate.
We've gone off the rails so many times today.
But
I hope you guys have a great week. I hope that you enjoy your footy, and I hope your team wins.